breaking news. Daniel Penny found not guilty on count 2. Unanimously, the jurors decided he is not guilty of negligent homicide. This is the lesser charge that was against those 2 original charges against him. The manslaughter charge in the second degree was dismissed on Friday. The jurors deliberating this morning and have unanimously decided that Daniel Penny is not guilty on count 2. That is negligent homicide. It is a lesser charge which did carry up to 4 years in prison, though there was no minimum sentence in this charge. I can hear behind me the protesters are beginning their chants. There are now police vehicles, sirens going off behind me. The energy in the air is very charged. We can expect I'm sure you can hear them behind me, the protesters beginning their chants after the jury came down with this verdict. Ultimately not guilty. This case is not being thrown away. Daniel Penny is now off the hook for these 2 charges that were against him. We're going to be out here for the rest of the morning to see how this progresses, how the temperature on the street, what exactly happens outside this courthouse, how that progresses as well. As you can already hear the protesters beginning behind me. But Emma, John, this is massive, huge breaking news in this case. Daniel Penny not guilty of negligent homicide, the only charge which was now against him.
What is going on, guys? Hey, I wanted to come back to you, and I wanted to bring you an update on the Daniel Penny trial. This morning, they found him not guilty on negligent homicide, which was the last charge that they could possibly charge him with. Again, man, I'm glad. I am glad because to me, this case was really important to the country because, it was about whether or not you have the right to defend yourself and others in the face of physical danger. And it threw in the element of race because again, I don't think anyone would expect that we would have any outrage, anything at all going on if Daniel Penny would have been black. Wouldn't matter. None of this would matter. He wouldn't have been charged. We understand that. We understand that. So again, I think this case has very big significance for this country at this point. But Black Lives Matter did not take to this very well at all. Watch.
I'm the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Greater New York. I stand here heartbroken because I have to hug a father who knows that the murderer of his son will most likely go free, who has to look in the face of a jury that no matter the facts, no matter the expert witnesses, no matter the people yelling on that train that day to let Jordan go, you will kill him. They will not find a white man guilty of killing a black man in modern day America. This is no different than Jim Crow. This looks like a picture out of the picture book when you look at that anonymous jury. We have baby boomers who were there during Jim Crow on this jury. We have young people who are looking at Daniel Penny as a hero. And what America is a hero, a killer. He didn't give a crap about Jordan.
Several days later.
Breaking news. The jury has reached a unanimous verdict in the case of Daniel Penny. He's been found not guilty on the charge of criminally negligent homicide. Now remember what was at stake here. The jury could not agree on manslaughter. They failed to agree twice. The judge gave them another bite at the apple on this lesser charge, negligent. They now say not guilty. What does this mean? Let's first go to reporter CB Cotton, who's outside the courthouse, to find out how this has played out. Now, I hear an immediate melee of protesters, CB.
Hi, Harris. That's right. Protesters are pretty upset. There's a large crowd of them out here next to me. You can hear them rattling the police barricades, saying no justice, no peace. And what they're yelling now follows a series of threats that they hurled earlier as the defense walked in with their client, Daniel Penny, telling the defense team that Daniel Penny can have no peace here in New York if he's found not guilty on this lesser charge, criminally negligent homicide. And from what I can hear right now, they're repeating those threats. They are very angry. Harris, I also want to mention there were a couple people here this morning to support Daniel Penny, but the anti-Penny crowd far outweighs them, and they seem pretty upset. We're seeing police officers come out here in droves to try to keep the two groups separated.
Because to be real, they didn't even try. Once the lesser charge was removed, they came back an hour later and said it was deadlock. Less than an hour and 20 minutes later, they said not guilty. These wonderful white people, I hope they celebrate their Christmas while the Neely family is praying and asking God for comfort. Goddamn them and goddamn America.
Just like everybody else has vigilantes, we need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud.
He was hungry! He was killed for being poor! No justice, no peace! Shame on you! No justice, no peace!
This is fucking sick. They don't give a goddamn about us.
BLM had threatened to burn down parts of the city, cars, whatnot. Let's watch. They're angry over Daniel Penny being found not guilty.
To do it for us. And clearly, if we get to this point, it's too late. We have to be there for each other, and that's our call to action. Everybody that's pissed off at this verdict, I challenge you to go outside today and help one person.
That fat guy in the back and talking about black vigilantes. Why don't we first have black people, black guys that obey the law? Again, a good idea. Oh yeah, I'm not talking about all black folks, not at all. But we got to be honest. The majority of violent crime again is committed by black people, specifically by black men. So again, saying you need black vigilantes, well, you know, again, who are you going to protect the subway from? Yourself? And no, I mean, no, really, yourself. Why don't you? Why don't you have black fathers instead of worrying about black vigilantes? Why don't you have black fathers in the homes raising their kids right? Instead of out there, again, black people commit majority of violent crime in this country, even though they're less than 13% of the population. There is a problem, and the problem is looking back at you in the mirror. Stop with your bullshit and start stepping up.
One person. That's how we beat the system. That's how we turn this around, by being there for each other.
I just want to say, I miss my son. My son didn't have to go through this. I didn't have to go through this either. It hurts. Really, really hurts. What are we going to do, people? What's going to happen to us now? I had enough of this. The system is rigged. Come on, people. Let's do something about this.
Let's do something about it. Too often. We have Eric Garner's mother here. There's too often this is happening where we're left alone in this society. We got to stop that. We have to change how we impact each other. Jordan came on that subway car. The first thing he asked for was food, and he was killed. And the person who killed him was not held responsible. We cannot allow this to keep happening.
Okay, number one, there is no system that you need to beat. There is no system, number one. And number two, start holding yourself responsible. That's what the issue is. You're trying to hold everyone else responsible for what you do or people in your community does. What you're doing is you're playing on the back. You're manipulating things. You're playing on systemic racism, white supremacy, whatever. And you're using that as a way to go after and blame other people for what you're doing. If you're really trying to help out the black community or anyone at all, you hold them responsible for what they do. And again, Jordan Neely got onto a damn subway train, threatened passengers, old people, old women, kids with their lives, told everyone he didn't care about going back to prison. Somebody was going to die. Now, Daniel Penny stepped up. He protected people, including a lot of black and brown people. And again, you wanted to hang for it. Because Jordan Neely, a drug addict with all kinds of problems, lost his life. Again, I'm sorry the guy lost his life to a degree. But the guy was a problem. And again, I feel for his father. But where was his father? Where was anybody? Again, if this guy needed that much help, why wasn't he put away? Why wasn't he getting help? Where was his family? Where was his friends? Where was the black community? Again, they weren't helping him. They give a damn. Just like when black guys kill other black guys, they don't care. They don't care until a white guy, again, defends people and accidentally kills the white guy. Oh my God! I mean, again, you can have black guys have their cutting other black guys down every 5 minutes. They don't care. They don't care one bit. But if you have one white guy that, again, tries to stop a criminal who's got warrants against him to begin with from assaulting and possibly killing people on a train. One white guy. And the whole thing is a damn accident. It wasn't intentional. Yeah. You want to go after blood. You want to have somebody to blame. Why don't you blame yourself? Why don't you look in that mirror and blame you? Or blame the darkness inside of you? Again, that's all you can do. Then things might change. But things aren't going to change if you're constantly blaming people with lighter skin for your problems. You're a coward. You're weak. Again, you're blaming everyone else except for yourself. Except for the only person that can make a difference. You. That's it. Again, what kind of man blames, of whatever color, blames any other man for his life? How weak, how brainwashed do you have to be to blame somebody else for your problems that have nothing to do with you? So if I go inside of a bank or something and I rob it, and I get shot and killed, that's my fault. I did it. Sure, I could have had a bad childhood. I could have had whatever bad things happened to me. The choice that I made, that was mine. That was mine. And the choice that Jordan Neely made, that was his. And again, if he was that mentally ill, which he might have been, there was his family that's so upset about this whole thing. If you guys would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a